Hello! This is the first of 3 lectures on presentational aids in persuasive speaking. This lecture focuses on the functions of presentational aids. By the end of this lecture, you should understand the general functions of presentational aids. You should also be able to apply it to your presentational aids that you will make and critique the presentational aids made by your peers. So let's go ahead and get started. The first and perhaps most important function is promoting clarity. You as a speaker have a limited amount of time to get your ideas across, and quite frankly, there are limits to what language can do. Presentational aids can help you to fill in those gaps. For example, say that a key part of your argumentation relied on statistics. Statistics are often difficult to understand, especially when they are only presented in a verbal manner. However, if you put them in a nice chart or developed a graph to go along with those statistics, it would go a long ways to clarifying those statistics for your audience. Basically, your presentational aid would serve to complement your script, what you're saying about those statistics, and essentially it creates a cohesive, clear, and understandable argument that your audience will get. Next, assisting retention. You have to find ways to help your audience to remember, and presentational aids go a long way towards that. This goes back to the VARC learning styles that we talked about in class earlier. Remember visual, auditory, reading, and kinesthetic learning styles. Presentational aids can really help to create a wider range of learning styles within your speech. Visual learners will have pictures, graphs, charts, various ways to help them learn the information. Readers can have words and be able to just read off the screen, and that will help to enhance their understanding of what you are verbally telling them. You can even help kinesthetic learners by providing clear instructions for kinesthetic exercises. Those clear instructions will make for really great physical learning environments. So really, presentational aids go a long ways towards applying to different learning styles and assisting the overall retention of your content. Next, presentational aids can facilitate extemporaneous delivery. The #1 problem I see with speeches is students attached to their note cards. Their eyes are down. They are reading from a script or from very long bullet points. Their gestures are also very limited because they are so attached to their script, to what they're holding. If you were to take away the note cards and the script and instead kind of put that on your presentational aid, such as in a slideshow like this one, it would not only help your audience, but it would help you as a speaker. Your head would naturally be up, you'd be more likely to have eye contact with your audience, you'd be able to more naturally gesture because your hands aren't tied up with holding on to your script. I can guarantee you, if you make a strong presentational aid for yourself that can help to facilitate your extemporaneous delivery, you will do better on your persuasive speech. Next, providing support. We talk in this class about a variety of evidence, but there's some evidence that you just cannot describe. It has to be shown. That's what presentational aids are for. You can show charts, graphs, sets of statistics, even pictures and other forms of visual rhetoric that can really develop your argument well. And finally, encourage emotional involvement. Remember, persuasion relies on pathos, that emotional development. And pathos can be very easily put into presentational aids. Take, for example, this photo of the 1970 Kent State shooting. This photo has been used by many students to talk about police brutality on college campuses or free speech and protest on college campuses because it touches such a strong emotional chord. Now remember, photos don't have to be historical. Take a look back at last year's UC Davis pepper spray incident. This sparked a huge outrage and became the subject of many persuasive speeches, both in competitive forensics and in public speaking classrooms. So, visual images can really help to draw out that emotional support and get your audience to connect to your speech. Thank you for your attention to the functions of presentational aids. Please move on to Part 2, Guidelines for Creating a Presentational Aid.